Hey everyone, welcome to the video. AJ with Buck and Life Off-Road here. A lot of you guys have been asking me recently what I take with me along for my camping adventures. Well, today I'm going to show you. Stay tuned. I've been asked so many different times what I use for camping gear. It's not even funny. Today we're going to get into that. Now I'm just going to point out the fact that I have never enjoyed spending a lot of money on gear. I always tend to go with the budget-friendly option. Now, even though the gear I use might be budget-friendly, it doesn't mean that it's not good. It's just cheaper than a lot of the alternatives that are out there. I won't buy something that has terrible reviews. As long as it works, I'm good with it. All right, so I guess I'm just gonna start off with the basic camping essentials you need when you're at camp. Basic ground tent. This is a Camp Pros tent that I think cost me probably about 80 bucks. I've had this tent going on 3 years now, and it served my purpose just fine. I will probably eventually upgrade one of these days, but until I do, this is a super cheap option that you can use to go camping with. No, I don't own a Gazelle or anything like that. I may or may not in the future, but right now, this serves my purpose just fine. Of course, you have your basic camping chair. This is a Walmart special Ozark Trail camping chair. I'm sure you've seen plenty of these before, but this was 15 bucks. Not going to spend a whole lot of money on a camping chair. You know, these are a dime a dozen. This is a foldable table from Lence. I believe this table cost me about 25 bucks. You can get this on Amazon. It's a great little unfoldable table, and it works super well for my needs. Now, pretty much everything I do have an Amazon storefront, which includes most of my gear on it. Anything you can get on Amazon anyway. Some of the things I have you cannot get on Amazon, but I'd say probably about 98% of my gear are in my Amazon storefront, and the link is down in the description of the video. This is just a standard little coffee press made by Widesea. Works just fine. This was probably 20 bucks. Standard camping dishes and cups and plates. Very inexpensive and cheap. I don't remember what the cost of these were, but I don't think they're any more than 25 bucks. This is a pot and pan set from Kitchen Academy. This is actually a really nice, cheap set of pots and pans. They have removable handles. You probably saw in one of my videos where I dropped my food because I accidentally hit the button. But they work really well, really good nonstick coating on it. They kind of look like probably like a granite coating. But so far I haven't noticed much wear on them, and they've been working just fine for me. So I definitely recommend picking up this set from Kitchen Academy on Amazon. And this is a cutlery set, which I also picked up on Amazon. It's made by LifetoGo. You get a set of tongs, spoon, spatula, fork, forks and knives, utensils. You get a small cutting board, which is also included in this kit. Decent knife, pretty sharp with a cover. Meat shears, which you can cut up pretty much anything with. But this is a super cheap and great option for a camping cutlery set. There are more expensive options out there, but I never see the need to get the most expensive option. I know, you know, some people might like to get the most expensive option, but I've never been that way. And even if I had a ton of money, I still most likely wouldn't buy the most expensive option you can get. Just because it's budget doesn't really mean it's not good quality. So let's move on to the next item. Some lanterns. You can pick up a set of 4 of these for 25 bucks, and these work phenomenally well. The only thing I don't like about these lanterns is that they are not rechargeable, which means you have to obviously change out the batteries. Can you put rechargeable batteries in these? I'm sure you probably can, but the batteries that typically come in here, I think it's 4 AA, 3 AA, as you can see. So I wouldn't see an issue with putting rechargeable batteries in here, but The batteries in these things have lasted me well over 3 years, and I've never changed them out. Next is this rechargeable fan. Another Amazon buy. That feels good, actually. It's kind of hot in my house. This is a rechargeable fan. You can actually even recharge your cell phone off of this. It also has a light. And this is the one that I usually hang in my tent like this, pointed down over me, over my bed. It works really well for what it is, and it definitely helps keep you cool at night on those hotter evenings out in the woods or the desert. This is something that I cannot go without, and I'm sure most of you cannot either, but this is a highly essential item in my book. This is a portable toilet. This was another one that I got off of Amazon. It's a very easy setup. You just take the bottom here, shove it in, and then you can put the top on. Well, you put your bag in first, and then you put the top on as such. Just kind of sits down on top, and then you get yourself a place to do your duty. It's got a nice padded seat, and it works well. This is also in my camping gear list on my Amazon storefront if you wanted to pick this one up. I want to say it was probably like 30 bucks. You can see how easily it folds down and goes back into its bag. Bam, you're done. This one, the brand is called Sckee, I guess. Is that how you pronounce that? Sckee. Really good portable toilet. Now, this is one of these items that is not only for camping, but I would say it's also a essential survival piece of gear. This is a radio and a flashlight, but it's rechargeable. It's got an AM/FM radio on it. It's got the weather band, weather alerts and everything. The cool thing about this is that you can also charge it from solar. But the other thing is you can crank it. If the battery is completely dead, you just crank it up and you can charge it that way. So that way you always have lights, you have music and weather reports, a clock, and a flashlight. This is definitely one of those things that I don't think you should probably go without. I don't know the brand, but the model is the XSY340. And this is also in my camping gear list on my Amazon storefront. 1 pound propane tanks. I have pretty much generally been using just these Mr. Heater fuel kegs. They have their own proprietary way to fill these. So you do need their adapter to fill these, but I have not had any issues with these as of yet. I did read on some reviews that some people said that they have had ones that have leaked. I have not. They've been super perfect for me so far. If I ever do get one that leaks, though, I will be sure to let you guys know. These are the Mr. Heater fuel kegs. This is a fire starter from Garden Lifer. These work extremely well. Of course, I don't bring this whole box with me. What I do is I have this little case here, and I just put some in this case along with some extra toilet bags. These are what the fire starters look like. That way I don't have to bring that whole entire thing. Along with the extra bags for the toilet, I also have this Ghidorah poo powder that you put in the bottom of the bag of the toilet, which helps, you know, kind of gels up all your waste and stuff and tends to keep the smell down a little bit. I use those on every single outing. Water jug. This is a 5-gallon water jug that I also got off of Amazon. I don't use this when I go on just an overnight, but if I go any more than one night, I do bring this along and I fill it up with water. You can put one of those power faucets on this water tank, or you can just sit it on the table like this and use the spigot. The last time I used this was when I went out on the Northern Arizona Overland trip with my nephew. We filled this up before we left, and I think we might have used not even half of it. So, 5 gallons is a good amount if you're only going for, 2, 3, even 4 days. All right, what else do we have here? Standard sleeping bag. Now, when it is cold out, I do bring more than just this. This is basically this is not a winter sleeping bag. So when it is cold out, I will bring this plus another couple extra real blankets, like fleece blankets along with me. This is a really great option. Like when it's kind of warm out, I don't even use this. I just kind of lay on top of it. So, but really cheap, really good quality. The zippers are nice on this thing. And this is also in my camping gear list on my Amazon storefront. All right, now this is a bedding roll. Obviously, what I don't like about this thing is that it's super bulky. This goes on top of my camping cot, which I'm not going to show you right now because it's just kind of big and I'm not going to unfold it. But this unrolls and it goes on top of your camping cot and it makes it a lot more comfortable. Like I said, though, this thing takes up a lot of space and that's the one thing that I do not like about it. But I typically don't bring a whole ton of stuff with me anyway. Whenever I go out on an overnighter or even a double nighter, I still have plenty of space left over in the Bronco. So, it's not that big of a deal, but some of you may not like something like this because of how bulky it is. But let me tell you, if you use a cot, for me anyway, this is kind of an essential to go on top of the cot because the cot itself it's not like sleeping on a rock, but it's hard enough. I'm getting to that age where I need to be comfortable when I'm out camping, and this does a great job. Some of you might know what this is already just by looking at the bag, but this is for when it's a little bit colder out. And of course, it's a Mr. Heater Buddy Heater. I've used this a few times. I don't go out cold camping all that often because where do I live? I live in Arizona. I haven't camped in the super cold temperatures up north yet, but when I do, this will help keep me warm. I did bring this on my Northern Arizona Overland trip with my nephew, and we used it one of the nights that we were up there, and it kept our tent nice and toasty, so it works really well. You can either hook up one of these 1-pound tanks to it, or I have an extension hose where I can actually hook up to like my 11-pound propane tank and sit that outside the tent when this is in the tent. I believe my hose is like 14 feet long or something like that. I can't remember, but it works really well. And of course, those of you that have wives or girlfriends, this is going to be a necessity for you guys to help keep her warm, right? What I cook with, basic Coleman camping stove, 2-burner. This was what, maybe $100? I don't know. I'm sure there are better options out there, but this, again, suits my needs just fine. It works great. I really don't have any complaints about it. It's just a basic Coleman 2-burner propane cooking stove. I know a lot of people, use those jet boils and stuff like that to make coffee on, but for me, I don't really see the need to carry along 2 different types of cooking systems when I can just use this one. All right, let's get into some of the more expensive stuff that I have. Now, these things are more expensive, but they're still not the most expensive option that you can get. And I will start off with this Renogy 200-watt solar panel. I will admit, I have not used this yet. I have tested it out in the backyard, but I haven't gone on a trip long enough and sit in one spot in order to need this. I bought this for when I do need one, I have it. When I did test it outside, I was getting just about 200 watts of solar from it. It was on a nice, bright, sunny day. And I tested it out on my Bluetti power station, which I'm going to show you in a second here. Now, it does take quite a bit of time to charge up, but if you're in one spot, then this is all you need. Of course, on a cloudy day, it's not going to be very good. Solar, it has its ups and downs, but it's still something that can help you out if you need it. All right, let's move on to my power station. This is the Bluetti AC70, and this is one of my absolute favorite items. This I use to power my fridge. I also charge up my drone batteries from it, my cell phone if I need to, but this is basically to run my fridge. Now, when I went up to Northern Arizona, I took this along, and this thing ran my fridge for 3 days without dying. Now, at the time, I did charge it while we were driving from my 12-volt power supply in the Bronco, but it is super slow. And it actually eventually ended up melting my 12-volt ports, which is why I ended up buying a Bluetti Charger 1. I tested that out, and that works phenomenally. So the last time I went out camping up to Edge of the World was the first time I used the Bluetti Charger 1 to charge this when I was driving. That thing kept this thing topped up 100% the whole time. Super fast, super fast. But like I said, I can run my fridge off this one power station for just about 3 days without even a single attempt at a recharge. Works great. There are bigger options out there, but this one suits my needs just fine for right now. Speaking of another essential for power needs, this is a power bank. I use this as a mobile way to charge my cell phone. So if I want to walk around camp or sit by the campfire and charge my cell phone at the same time, this is perfect. I can't remember the brand that this is, but I do have it in my camping gear list on my Amazon store. I think this was about 35, 40 bucks. To me, it's a definite necessity to have out there. All right, let's get into one of my biggest items. This is my refrigerator. This is a SetPower PT35 Duel Zone refrigerator. I got the one with the cover. This is the freezer side. This is the refrigerator side. Of course, you can use them as both, or you can use them as separate. One freeze, one for refrigerator. This is a 37-quart refrigerator. I love this thing. Now, I looked at Domestics, I looked at Iceco's, everything else. This is a super budget-friendly fridge, and it is great. This was half the cost of some of the Iceco dual zones and the Dometic dual zones. I think I paid almost $400 for this with the cover. Now the Domestics were what, 800 something. Iceco's up there along with the Domestics. But the cool thing is that Iceco actually makes these SetPowers. It's the same exact company. So why would you spend twice the price for pretty much the same product? I have no issues with this whatsoever. It does have an LED light inside, so when you open it up, the light comes on. It's not Bluetooth or anything like that. It doesn't have all these bells and whistles that some of these fridges have, but what's the point of having all that? And I don't need that. Some people like them, you know, the ones with all the bells and whistles, but I pretty much like basic things. It works, and that's all I need it to do is just work and work good. I would definitely highly recommend this fridge to anyone. Absolutely. Propane. You need propane when you're camping, whether it be for cooking or a fire bowl, something along that lines. This is an 11-pound tank that I have. I did buy this case separately. This case is made by Flame King, but the tank sits right down in the case and it keeps it nice and protected. I do have a gauge that I bought separately that you screw onto here so you can see how much fuel you still have, and it works great. Most people don't like to carry those big 20-pound tanks, so this is absolutely perfect. All right, let's get on to fire. It's in a bag, and I'm not going to take it out, but this is the fire pit that I use, which runs off of propane. This is an Outland fire bowl. It works great. I love it. It does use a lot of propane though. I've never run out of propane by using it, but you don't run it all night. The thing I don't like about this is that it's a little bulky with it being 19 inches wide. This was the first one I bought. I probably will eventually change out to like a Howl or something like that because it's more compact, you know, the ammo can style. But if you have one of these or want one of these, I'll definitely recommend it. It just takes up a little bit more space than you may like. Another necessity. This is an all-top Overland bag. This is obviously for trash. Great bag. It's a little bit dirty as you can see. I mean, I do use it. I do not use it on day trips. I only use it on overnights. Day trips, you can just bring a little plastic bag with you and put all your trash in that. But what I do is I just stick a little plastic trash can down in this and then put a bag in when I'm getting ready to go. And that's that. This obviously goes on your spare tire. And this is a really, really great bag. Alltop makes some pretty good products. Now, obviously, I bring along things like dude wipes, paper towels, toilet paper, you know, just hygienic things, deodorant and things of that nature. I'm not going to feature those things, obviously. I just wanted to show you what I bring for my basic and budget-friendly camping gear. And I hope whatever I have and that I showed you helped you out. Now, one of the final pieces I failed to mention was this folding table. You can buy these at Walmart, get them on Amazon, and I use this to pretty much prepare my food on and things of that nature while camping. Another thing that I think is essential for organization and makes a good workspace. You always need a good workspace to prepare food and make drinks or whatever you feel like doing when you're out in the woods. And so there you have it. That is my basic gear that I have. And like I said, most of it is budget. Actually, in my opinion, all of it's budget because even the refrigerator and the power station, they definitely were not the most expensive ones that I could have purchased. I just try to keep things simple and keep it within a certain budget. I am cheap and I don't like to spend a lot of money on gear. Well, if you like this video, guys, hit the like and subscribe button. And let me know if you want to see a build video for the Bronco. I've been thinking about doing one of those as well. Hope this helped you guys out. And if you were once curious about what I take along with me, well, now you know. Thanks for joining me, guys, and we'll see you on the next video. Take care.